Hi, I'm David Partika, and I created CSS Burner as a rapid optimization tool for CSS. As part of my playlist, Optimization Opportunities, which is a playlist within the Optimize CSS channel, I'm going to show you today an example of an optimization opportunity that's not as common as some of the other ones. For example, I'll just tell you that the most common one that I see is 0 pixels or zero whatever length unit, where the length unit does not need to be included when the magnitude is 0. That's most common, but I'm going to show you an example today of another relatively common optimization possibility within a style sheet. So we have this style sheet here, which has 4 rules. There's a div selector, then a paragraph, then anything with the attribute type equal text, and then a div in closing. And what I'm going to do is just highlight this and copy it. And we see that this is 145 bytes of style sheet here of CSS. Take a minute to think about anything that is superfluous or can somehow be streamlined, besides white space. What can be chopped off of this CSS? So take a minute, take a look at this. What is redundant or superfluous? Now, what we can do is scan this block of code, and this is one of the powerful features of CSS. Of CSS Burner, when we check the box for Optimize CSS and scan, any optimizable possibilities will be highlighted in orange, as we see here for this 4th rule. See that when we mouse over, the selector was repeated in the style sheet. And so what we can do for more information is click this to briefly highlight the report, the corresponding list item in the report. And you can imagine the report was more complicated than just one instance. This would be helpful. But here, let's click, and we see that identical HTML selectors have been detected in your style sheet, such that there is 1.9% of this style sheet that was completely superfluous, did not need to be included, and can be chopped off immediately. And so when we scan our entire style sheet, we see, of course, this first rule, that div was already, as a type selector, was already included with its declaration block. And so identical selectors and their declaration blocks can just be combined. They can be merged together. And so CSS Burner can detect this within seconds, whereas with a complicated style sheet, especially once you get into even the couple of kilobytes, a human eye cannot spot these opportunities so readily. And that's one of the reasons I created CSS Burner, was to streamline workflow. So if we now reset this, I'm going to just paste what I had at the beginning. Remember, it was 145 characters. So this second div, its contents, could have simply just been included in the first. So that was redundant markup as far as the type selector, the div. Now we see that we're able to cut 155, I think it was, to 138. Now, white space considerations aren't a part of the calculation for CSS Burner. It's just the non-white space characters that could have been removed. So div would have been removed, and its braces. So here we see how the style sheet now could have been written in a more succinct fashion, where the div type selector was not listed twice. And this is a common optimization opportunity that CSS Burner will find in a fraction of the time that human eyes, even multiple human eyes staring at a style sheet, a fraction of the time it would take them. So if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. And if you have not subscribed to the Optimized CSS channel already, please do so and look for some more of these helpful videos in the not so distant future.